for drinks with my friends. I'm going to order myself some takeout. No, do not spoil yourself on payday. Does money happen to you, or are you happening to your money? So I read this article in Business Tech that said that the average South African spends 80% of their salary in the first 5 days of the month. That is crazy. This means that they only have 20% of their salary to last them for the remaining 25 days of the month. Hi, I'm Kapano, and in this video, I'm going to share with you the 5 common mistakes that people make on payday that affects the rest of their month. Now, although I do have experience as a financial advisor, I will definitely say that this is not financial advice. If you need financial advice, make sure that you find yourself a licensed financial advisor. Be truthful, be honest, and find a solution with them, not with me. This is just a conversation, okay? So the first mistake that people make on payday is that they spoil themselves on payday. I know, this sounds crazy that, what, I just got paid. I'm gonna go out for drinks with my friends. I'm gonna order myself some takeout. No, do not spoil yourself on payday. If you get paid on the 25th, don't go spoil yourself on the 25th. If you get paid on the 30th, don't go spoil yourself on the 30th, and the same applies for any other day of the month. The thing is, this is actually an impulsive buy because most people don't know how much they can spend so that they are still safe for the rest of the month. You could be setting yourself back because there's those shoes that you've been looking for and you want to buy them on payday before your debit orders take all your money. You're just like, what is it? Cutting off your nose to spite the what? It doesn't work like that. You need to know how much of your money is actually part of your fun budget. The part of the salary that you can use for yourself, for your hair, for your nails, for going out and all of those things before you can even spoil yourself. And if you do spoil yourself on payday, that's an impulsive buy, which is never a good thing to do. You want to be in control of your money, know how much you can spend so you don't set yourself back. You could be taking away money from your groceries. You could be taking away money from your rent. You could be taking away money for your car or petrol. If you do too much on payday, you're going to suffer from it later on in the month, and you're going to have to take out debt. You're going to have to dip into your credit card, or even worse, you're going to have to ask your mama or your friends for money. So do not spoil yourself on payday. You'd rather know exactly what you're doing. Pick a nice day in the week when you know that you've set aside money to go spoil yourself. No impulsive buys. If this is you, make a rule today that no impulsive buys, no spoiling yourself on payday until you've sorted yourself out. Yes, you should pay yourself, but rewarding yourself with an impulsive buy on payday is a bad idea. Reward yourself on purpose. Be intentional about how you reward yourself. Don't make any snap decisions because those snap decisions are going to snap back at you and hit you in the face. Common mistake number 2 is letting your debit orders ravage your account before you do. This happens quite a lot. We make a joke about it. You are sleeping on the 31st of the month, and then you hear ding ding, and you open your eyes. You're just like, payday. Close your eyes for another 5 minutes, and then there it goes, ding 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 ding. Yep, more debit orders going off of your account. It's the house, it's the car, it's the credit card, it's the personal loan, it's the other credit card, all going off on your account before you've even touched or seen how much comes into your bank account. There are so many people who've never actually seen their full salary just sit in their accounts unless you get paid in the morning and your debit orders go off at night. This is so bad. You should see your money, you should direct your money, and you should be able to say how much is going out and how much am I reserving before all your debit orders go off. It is so important that when payday comes around, that you have a payday routine. And in this payday routine, you know that I need to keep this set amount in my bank account for all my debit orders. I need to pay this immediately, and I need to reserve this much amount of money and put this into savings. You need to know how much is part of your fun budget. You need to know how much you can take for different things. Can you afford something new? Should you be saving for a trip that you're having a little later on? All of these things are part of your payday routine. So if you do not have one, I would definitely suggest that you sit down and work out what is your payday routine. What is it that you do as soon as you get paid so you can be in control of your money. And then mistake number 3 is that you do not know how much of your money is left once you've paid for everything. This includes not knowing how much of your money is left after debit orders go off, and not knowing how much of your money is gone after you've paid everything that is an obligation. The problem with this is that we don't actually have a list of all of our obligations sitting in front of us and us knowing exactly how much we need to pay, when, and where. And that's because most people don't budget. If you actually had a budget, which is just a list of income versus a list of expenses, so money coming in versus money going out, then you would be more intelligent about your money and you'd know how much is left. You would be able to save better, you would be able to control your expenses better, and you would also be able to have more money left over in your bank account on a month-to-month basis. Most people don't have any intelligence about their money. Their money happens to them. My salary happens to me, my debit orders happen to me, and then life just happens to me in between one payday and the next. And this is what gets you caught in the rat race. This is what gets you caught living hand to mouth, because money comes into your hand. Some person comes, the taxpayer comes, the tax collector comes, the debit orders come, the car comes, the house comes and takes, and then groceries comes and takes, and then you're left with pennies, and you don't even look and see how many pennies you have. You just try and just make it throughout the month. This is a sad existence, and you shouldn't be living that way. Life is good. You're supposed to be getting rewarded for your salary, but your salary is just going to your survival. We want to thrive, guys. Gone are the days when we have to, struggle, scraping through the month, irrespective of how much it is that you earn. I've had one-on-one consultations with people who don't earn a big salary, but they've got 6 figures sitting in the bank account. If they can do that, then so can you. So you need to get into the habit of knowing how much of your money is left once you've paid off all of your obligations. And this just links me to number 4, which is the big one. You have no strategy. Most people don't have a strategy, a payday strategy. And what do I mean by payday strategy? Most people just do a budget. X comes in, X goes out. It is what it is. But you should have a strategy. And what we mean by a financial strategy is that you know that this is how much I'm getting in, this is how much I'm getting out, and my goal is to go to a certain place. That this is where I'm starting, this is how my money situation is now, and I'm trying to get my money situation to a different place. So I'm starting at A and I want to get to B, and this is how I'm going to get there. Most people don't have a strategy about decreasing their expenses. Most people don't have a strategy about increasing their income. Most people don't even know that they can go to the bank and talk about their debit orders. Most people do not know that they shouldn't just be accepting what the bank says that they must pay them back. It's a negotiation. So if you have a strategy for your money, then you're going to the bank and you're saying, let's negotiate how much I am paying back on my car, how long it is taking, the interest rates, etc. Most people don't know that they can do that with their house. Most people don't know that when you're paying someone back your money, you don't just take the first offer they give you, you negotiate. You say, this is what I can afford, and this is how much I'm willing to pay. This is the period I'm willing to pay over. That no, this is too much in terms of a repayment period. Let's decrease it. And the main reason is because you have no strategy. You don't know where you're trying to go with your money. What type of life is your salary supposed to build you? If you don't know the type of life you're trying to build, then your salary is just going to come in and then go out, and you're just going to accumulate a whole lot of debt along the way. It's not a way to live. You should be thriving, you should be growing, and you should be moving towards something beautiful, and your salary is that thing that enables you to do that. Do you work to live, or do you live to work? Are you working so that you can build a life for yourself, or are you working so you can stay alive? That is the difference between people who have a financial strategy and people who don't. So you should be looking at, how do I develop a strategy that's going to take me from where I am to where I want to go? And that takes you sitting down with yourself and asking yourself, what are my goals for my life? What am I trying to achieve in the next 6 months, 12 months, and 3 years, 5 years, and 10? It seems like it's such a small thing to do, but it has a huge impact on you. Knowing your financial strategy will impact how you spend your money, the fact that you'll be left with more money every single month. You're going to negotiate any debt that you have in a way that impacts you positively for the strategy. You will also negotiate your salary better, knowing what happens with your tax, knowing what happens with your retirement, knowing what happens with your savings. All of this just makes you more intentional about your money, but it requires you to look your money dead in the eye and start doing something about it. And finally, this comes to number 5, which I alluded to in number 4, which is that you are not in control of who takes your money, how much they take, and when they take it. Most people just, you're a victim to debt. If the bank says you're going to repay 500 Rand over 5 years at 14% interest, then you're just like, okay, and you move on. That's not how it works. It's a negotiation. And when it's a negotiation, it means that you are speaking about your affordability, you are talking about what the interest rate is, and you are talking about how much you're going to pay over how long. If you're paying something over 5 years that you could pay over 2 years, then you are spending more money over time. The longer your repayment is, the more you're paying over time. I had this really small debt at the bank. It was so silly. So it was 50,000 Rand, and I paid it over 5 years, which doubled how much I paid the bank. Incredible. I mean, it's crazy. If I had just decided to make the repayment period shorter, I would have actually been able to afford it, and I would have paid the bank less money over time. But I didn't know that. I was just like, oh, okay, if you guys say so. Don't let the bank trick you into paying more and paying longer and giving them more money over time. Always go back and ask questions. It's like, okay, what options do I have in the payment period? What options do I have in the amount I'm paying? What options do I have with the interest? And ask them these questions because they're supposed to give you answers. Many times you would negotiate for a bond and then it is what it is in year 1, but 5 years later, your credit record has improved, your earning potential has improved, how you behave with your money has improved. And if you just go back to the bank and say, hey, can we please just look at this based on how I'm behaving right now, how my money is right now? What can we do about this bond? Is there any wiggle room for me to pay either shorter period of time, pay more so that it is a smaller amount? You don't know what could happen if you could just call and find out. And that's people who are in control of who takes their money, how much they take, and when they take their money. This will also impact your payday, because many people set their debit orders to go off on the same day they get paid, and you don't even know what's going on with your money. If you can change that, instead of the first, take out your debit orders on the second, giving you that a little bit of time for you to maneuver, for you to finesse your finances, and for you to find out how am I going to deal with this money in this month. All right, that is it for today. I know that was a handful, and I know it was quite a lot to take in just 14 minutes. But if you go and look at your money, if you look at your payday, do you have a routine? Does money happen to you, or are you happening to your money? Then you will see that there's so much potential for you to live a life where you have a fun budget, where you're enjoying your salary, and you are living a life that is progressive because you're in charge of your money from payday moving forward. If you haven't done any of these things and you found that, listen, I am actually making some of these mistakes, go back and start fixing that right now. Don't wait for payday. Start fixing your budget. Know your budget now, in the middle of the month. Don't wait. Find out from the bank, is there any wiggle room in terms of what am I paying? How long am I paying for? What is the interest rate? Is there any improvement that I can get at this point? Go and look at all of these things, because you don't have to wait for payday for these things to happen. And definitely, when payday comes around, avoid the impulse buys. Avoid that urge to spoil yourself. Avoid that urge to be lazy and not really look at your money before anybody else takes your money from your account. These are essentially things that take up 15 minutes of your day, but we put them off, and as a result, we work years and years and years, and we don't know where our money has gone and how it has improved our lives. So I hope that this video has helped you and that you'll be joining me in the next one. Let me know what questions you have about your shmoney honey and also just enjoying the life that you have and the life that you are building. This channel is all about us growing together. So make sure that you leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this video and what you want to see in the next. Until next time.